are on the website of the McCall MacBain Scholarship, and this is exactly how your application is going to look like. And today we are going to be talking about the short answers that you will have to answer. I had to go in there, create an account just to make sure that I can get you all the real thing, and we are going to talk about how you're going to be answering this particular short answers questions. Okay, so the questions they ask here is: tell us one activity or pursuit you use to dedicate a significant amount of time to but no longer do. 105 characters. I'm going to be teaching you how to answer these questions. 2, tell us 2 goals you are currently working towards outside of your academic pursuit. 105 characters maximum. I'm going to tell you how to answer this. And then tell us 3 things about you tell us 3 things about you that tell us about who you are that have not come across in the rest of your application. 105 characters maximum. So this is the short answers part of your McCall MacBain Scholarship. Like if you see here, these are the things that you will have to fill up in the application. You have the start, application type, profile, family, education, awards, interest, community engagement, original work, short answers, essays. And I really want us to talk about these short answers because I think that this is where many students are going to be making a ton of mistakes. So if you're someone that is going to be applying for the McCall MacBain Scholarship, I want you to like this video. Let me know in the comment section, have you gotten a chance to watch the first video? This is actually the second video that I'm doing about the McCall MacBain Scholarship. If you haven't watched it, go ahead and watch that. And also I have created worksheets. You all see how I'm going to be showing you how to answer these questions, these short answer questions. There are also some other essay questions that are to be answered. That is going to be in the next video. So please do well to subscribe to this channel, turn the notifications on. And if you want a step-by-step guide that you can use anytime, do well to purchase the worksheets. I'm going to put the link in the description box. And if you want to work with me one-on-one towards your entire application for this scholarship, or you want to work with like some scholars, I'm going to try to get some scholars, let me know in the comment section and we are going to go from there. Okay, so let us start here. This is the art of micro story. They are asking for 105 words. That is not a lot of words, right? So in order for you to get to the answers of this, you really have to be thoughtful and understand what they are actually looking for. So let's start with what they are actually looking for. They are looking to judge your character. So they are looking for exceptional character. They are looking to see your community leadership, and they are looking for intellectual curiosity. So they don't just want your grades. They want to see an authentic story from you, and this authentic story is going to shine through as you answer these questions. In the previous video, I told you all that they are trying to look for a sense of character for the person. Like what are the traits about you? Now this is them giving you an opportunity to tell them about yourself, and it is in answering this that you're going to tell them a lot about yourself. Okay, so the application is a self-audit. It really is. Past, where have you been? Your present, what drives you now? And then the future, unseen, who are you off paper, right? So the writing process was sort of a self-auditing. So this is a scholar that is talking. It allowed me to sit down and look at my past, my present, and my future. The person's name is Sydney, and this is a 2002 scholar. Yes, so that is what they want you to do. They really want you to sit down and think about your life, the things that you have done, and how you will want to characterize that and tell them about yourself. And they really are interested in figuring out, do you know you, right? So have the first one, you have the 105 character challenge. That is all of the questions. They are asking for 105 characters in the answers, right? So 105 characters is roughly 15 to 20 words. That is not a lot. You have absolutely no room for filler or fluff. You don't. You have to use active verbs, drop the thesaurus, do not use like difficult words, and be as direct as possible. We are going to go through each of the questions. I'm going to give you a strategy on how to answer them. So do not worry if it is something that you are like, oh my goodness, I do not know how to answer this. I'm going to teach you how to answer it, okay? So question 1, you have the past pursuit. Tell us one activity or pursuit you used to dedicate a significant amount of time but no longer do. This is 105 characters, okay? A strategy here is show growth. This isn't about giving up, it's about evolving. What did you leave behind to make room for your true passions? So let me give you all an example here, and I was able to sort of write it down. I'm going to put all of this into the worksheets such that you all do not get confused. You can check the worksheets anytime you're answering that. So please do well to go ahead and pursue and make sure you purchase the worksheets, okay? So the strategy here is they are not looking to see if you are a failure. No, that's not the goal here. They are looking to see some sort of a meaningful transition and the lessons that you had learned. So you have to use this space to really talk about the roots of your character. What is something that you have transitioned from? For example, you may have been a former athlete, right? And you would like to highlight, for example, how you have abandoned that sport, and then what that taught you going through that process of abandoning the sport. Because probably you may be thinking to yourself, oh my goodness, this is something that I really wanted to do. This was like my passion. And then you made a transition, right? So use this space to show the roots of your character. For example, a former athlete might highlight how an abandoned sport taught them that victory loves preparation. So probably it can be that you were not properly prepared, or maybe you fell in love with other thing else, or you were just not feeling it at the time and you decided to honorably leave, right? How are you going to stand out? So you have to choose an activity that provided a transferable skill, right? And transferable skill you still use today, even if the activity itself has ended, okay? Ensure that you use active verbs and short sentences to stay within the strict character limit. Remember, they are asking you for 105 characters. That is something that is not a lot of words that you have to write. Let me give you all an example of myself, right? When I was in grad school, I had gone through this whole process of trying to get scholarships, right? So when I was sort of a graduate student, I decided to launch a YouTube channel. I was still a graduate student, but my process of applying for scholarships, getting rejected, applying, had come to an end. I already had the lessons from there. So I decided to launch a YouTube channel to share my graduate journey, to explore my creative side. So it is something that I had learned how to apply for scholarships and how to go through the process. I had become successful, but I did not just stick to becoming graduate. I wanted to explore another side of me. So I decided to launch a YouTube channel in order to create content, right? So that is the things that I learned throughout that process of being, let's say, someone applying for scholarships. I had stopped, come to an end, but now I transitioned to using that knowledge for something else, okay? Now let us go to the next question that they ask here is, outside of your classroom, all right? So the question is, tell us 2 goals you are currently working towards outside of your academic pursuits, 105 characters maximum. The strategy here is show your humanity. Are you training for a marathon, learning a heritage language, building a community garden? Reveal the person behind the GPA. And I'm also going to give you the strategy on how, this is like the general strategy, but I'm going to get very specific on how you should think about this question, okay? So the committee wants to see a level of a breadth in your interests, like what are your interests, right? And maybe to some extent some kind of an entrepreneurial spirit. One goal should ideally reflect a creative or personal passion. For example, for me, starting a YouTube channel, that was a creative pursuit, right? One goal, while the other one should demonstrate a commitment to your community and development impact, right? For example, developing a technical tool in order to like help farmers, or something that is like you want to contribute to your community, that should be able to come through. So let's talk about how you're going to stand out as you answer this question. You have to show that you are a great citizen as well as a student. Highlight your goals that allow you to explore your creative side. Indicates that you are a well-rounded candidate who values growth outside of the classroom setting. Most students always think that to succeed in whatever it is that you have to do. Of course, you have to stay focused, but scholarships really judge someone based off of the things that they also do outside of the academic environment. Like for me, YouTube has nothing to do with academia, right? But I'm doing that. It shows another aspect of me. And for me, in that case, I'm going to be talking about donating food to an orphanage that I have been doing ever since I got my scholarship. I care for this. This is actually an orphanage for children that have heart issues, because I have a heart issue. So I decided to contribute to those people. So what are the things that you're doing? And I can tell a story about why I chose that orphanage and why I support those kids. They have heart conditions. I have a heart condition, so I can relate to them. So you need to be able to show some kind of a creative thing. For me, my YouTube channel, and then something that you're doing outside of your community. For me, helping and donating to the orphanage. Okay, so now let's talk about the third question, because in this short answers section you have 3 questions. Okay, so this is the missing pieces. Tell us 3 things about you that tell us about who you are that have not come across in the rest of your application. 105 characters max. The strategy here, general strategy, is look at your resume and transcripts. What's missing? Add quirks, let's say quiet values, family roles, or creative hobbies here. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the strategy that you are going to be using in this particular section when you're answering this. So you're going to think about it as the sort of a color section, like what are the other things that you can throw in there. Okay, so it is the last chance for you to sort of show your identity, such as your cultural background, your commitment to social justice in specific neighborhoods, or your personal philosophy on things like vulnerability, amongst other things, right? So how you're going to stand out is that don't write a checklist, and also don't repeat things that you have already mentioned before. Your GPA, we don't want to hear it, or titles, we don't want to hear it. You should rather share some kind of details that tell your story as a human being, things that humanize you and provide material for future interviews, because they are collecting all of this information. You all know in the process of this scholarship, you're going to have interviews. They are going to be collecting information about this to sort of see what they are going to be asking you during the interviews, and also to sort of have some things about you as a person and your intuition as a person. Okay, in the next video we're going to talk a bit about the other essays that they are going to ask. They are more detailed than this ones, but I hope that this is able to help you go through answering the questions that are already in this short answers section in the McCall MacBain Scholarship. As I said before, please do well to like this video, do well to share this video. If you know anyone thinking about Canada, tell them to watch this video. And also, I am preparing the worksheets. The link is going to be in the description box. Purchase the worksheets, because as I told you, I went in there, I created an account to make sure I have a good idea of everything that you are going to encounter as you fill up this application process, as you go through this process. And I make sure that I made the worksheets to answer each of this to help you step by step. So please do want to purchase the worksheets. And as I said already, if you want to work with me one-on-one on this, the link is in the description box. Do well to sign up for it. And I'm also going to try to see if I can get some scholars that have gotten the scholarship that can work with you all. If not, you're going to work with me. I've really studied the entire process and you'll be good to go. I'm a 4-time fully funded scholarship grantee, so I've helped about 5,000 students get scholarships, so I'm pretty sure about what I am talking about. I'm going to see you all in the next one.